Okay, third time's a charm. We're back again to the Choke Artist podcast. I'm with the band Children's Books from Philly, and they drove an hour to be here. I'm summarizing now what just happened for the past 40 minutes because we were just recording for a good 35 minutes, 40 minutes, and then a prompt came up that said, "Do you want to save this session?" And I said, yes, and then it closed and it didn't save, so we lost about 35 minutes of a podcast. So I'm sorry that happened.
It's okay.
And I just apologized a lot. Yeah, if anyone wants to come hack my computer and find the rest of this session,
we'll release it on our box set.
Yeah.
And whenever we find it in 5 years.
Super rare podcast edition. Man, we were talking about some good stuff too. I think one thing we were talking about was like the influence of like early pop punk on your band.
Yeah.
And we can't even recreate the conversation because it will just feel so forced and stupid.
It's okay. One band name saves the day. There you go. That's all. That's like literally.
And Avril.
Avril Lavigne.
And Avril.
Yeah.
We were talking about Avril.
Yeah.
Is Avril real punk though?
Oh yeah, you guys can feel.
What is
question.
real punk?
That's a good point.
Kyle.
I think it is whatever you want it to be. No, I don't know.
When Girlfriend came out, I felt like I was lied to, and I was like, really young because I thought Complicated and like Skater Boy was like alternative, and then like she made a pop song, and I was like, you're not.
She's like an aggressive Alanis Morissette. I love it.
Wow. See, I was just telling him in the car, if he did write-ups for bands, he'd be like amazing. He said something like, this one song sounds like Elliott Smith, but Kurt Cobain took his hands and now he's playing guitar. Like he's got good words for that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Thank you.
I like Alanis Morissette too. She's got like a grunge factor.
Jagged Little Pill.
Yeah.
So good.
Okay, so we should talk about your band's new single again. Tell me about
Pull
it.
Me Under.
Pull Me Under.
Oh, well, that's gonna
Keep.
that's gonna be the next one.
Yeah.
Okay, song's called Take Me Under. Lyrically, it's about just being kind of trying to stay mentally stable while you are also feeling like you're holding on to everybody's problems, which is also an issue on my part too. But a lot of the lyrics are talking about like trying to float, like that's why I say take me under. You feel like you're getting pulled under the water by other people. So that's kind of the pull with that. Went with mainly a pop punk style. Like we wrote it on Logic actually. We didn't say that before. This is new info. Yeah,
Yes.
Johnny.
Okay, good.
Breaking news.
So you demoed it in Logic, or?
Yeah, we were just sitting in my house. Like Ramon was playing some chords on piano. I was like demoing some bass over some like drum loops where like it was like or the Logic drummers like
Drummer Kyle.
Drummer Kyle. His name was Kyle.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's like a dating service for drummers.
Seriously.
Pretty much. And Ramon hated the drums on it, and I was like just writing the progression, and that was the very beginning of it. And then we workshopped it a lot. We never played it live until we grabbed Kyle, and then we kept working on it and eventually changed the key and everything like that. So
Cool.
it went through a lot of different things, and it's been a demo for a long time before we even recorded it. So
In my opinion, that's the best way to do it. You know, sit on it for a while and let it like really brew and like get it done. Because the worst is showing up to a studio and not knowing the song.
I never asked you guys. How did that feel for you guys, like having that song come to life? Because that was new to me. It's been around with you guys
We
for a
talked
while.
about it. It was awesome.
Yeah,
because
like-
we had literally a record's worth of stuff that we were probably never gonna put out on Logic, and it was all over the place. But it was like as soon as we grabbed Kyle and started doing some of those songs off, it was like shit. Like finally, this is what we wanted to do.
Cool.
So, yeah.
yeah,
So Children's Books was like started as like a demoing process, I guess, and then bring Kyle on board.
Yeah, the new iteration of Children's Books.
Yeah, the new iteration. Originally, it was like we would jam everything and then demo things, and then once we were basically a two-piece for a little bit, we just focused on writing and not
because we couldn't play live. So
yeah, because you can't really play live with a two-piece very easily, at least with our style.
Sure.
So we just kind of said we're going to keep writing even though we don't have another person to play with right now. And then when we got him, then we kind of went back a little bit more to the original style of like, and well, it kind of shifted. We brought him on some of the demos and kind of shifted back to.
Then we just like jam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it works that way. So.
And you went to Headroom to record the single, right?
This one we actually recorded at Philly Sound. Actually, both of the singles we've put out.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So, but we This one we had 2 producers on too as well. So Philly Sound doesn't exist anymore.
R.I.P.
Yeah, it's huge. It's like a church. You get these great drum sounds in there. It's awesome. So and really cool gear. But yeah, so we recorded that one at Philly Sound. That one, no, they got rid of the Neve board by then. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the Trident one.
The Trident one, because the Trident console
Queen
just sounds
recorded
super.
on it.
Yeah, I love
Not that
room.
specific one, but
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. So I'm trying to not have the same conversation, but I do think you should talk about how you guys are trying to just release singles and like kind of like spread them out and like build anticipation for them. One of them being this podcast, right, to help like promote the single.
Yeah, so we actually, we didn't talk about the promotion as much because you talked about the single, but we're doing for this, I don't know if you noticed on our social media page, everything's gone black and white. So like on our Instagram, if you like log into it, John and I had this idea. I was like, John, I want this like, you know the band Underoath, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they always have been so good at teasing their shit. So I was like, I want to do something where it's like you have little clips of the video and like everything compiled, and I want to make like our whole theme be black and white. And just take we need to do like a session shot where we do everything on film camera and all that stuff. And John's like, okay, I'm going to edit all this B-roll footage and the music video into these clips. Ramon, you organize getting photographers and all this shit. So like we came up with like a very strategic, like, okay, beginning of April, we're going to announce and start teasing this single, then have in the middle of April announce the single. And then like the last week, like, put the single out and have things build up to it and kind of do that. So it's very different than how we did it, where we just like last single we put out, we tried, but we were on the back foot. This time we're like trying to be like ahead of that, so you build hype and make it look. You're trying to make it look better than it is, but like that's
yeah, you got to figure out how the best way to do it. So it's a different approach, but I think like what we were saying, you know, on the last podcast we did, what we were saying is how you can post and like it'll get lost, like you release an album and that's it, right?
Yeah.
Like so, I think spreading it out without spreading it too thin is like not necessarily a bad move. And as long as like the content's good, like as long as you guys all like what you're putting out, then
yeah, and we try to make everything interesting. So like all the audio and stuff for all the promotional videos we've been doing have been like we have all the master files for the track. So I just pulled like a bunch of like stuff we didn't use in it, because we like added a bunch of like piano takes and a bunch of other things that were like, let's try this type of thing, and like didn't use them.
Yeah.
But like I was like, we're not gonna waste these, so we're just gonna pull some of that and like edit them down. And
but it's like still like a version of the song, kind of like it's
yeah,
like a track.
exactly.
I noticed that. I'm like, I didn't hear that in the video, but like I remember seeing a teaser, so that's neat. It's kind of like builds a theme around it.
Definitely.
Exactly, and this theme is like inadvertently. It's funny that we lost the podcast, because the first time we shot this video, we had a whole different video for this.
Really?
And we had a whole different video. Like it was me coming out of the water. I was literally running the entire time. I like fell face flat on the ground by accident. Like it was like totally different video. And it was gonna be like the shot in the middle of nowhere, PA, where we all come into the band and play together. And we lost that file too.
Really?
Yeah. So we had to
It's gonna
reshoot
be
the whole
awesome.
video. So this one was more like the guy that did the video. He wanted to do more of is my buddy, and he wanted to shoot it in the graveyard to do more of a portraits.
Yeah.
So he's like, we're gonna do a little more simple. We're gonna do like black and white and do more portrait based. And with that, we kind of said, I think now we have a tool here that we know that this video is gonna look black and white. Let's model this entire, like, I call it an ad campaign. It's not really an ad campaign, but let's model like this entire.
Getting very corporate.
Yeah. We do love corporate, but
Corporate pop punk.
Something corporate.
Something corporate. There you go.
Oh yes.
Yes, seriously though. But yeah, we just wanted to model it after that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't even pick up on the theme, but now you said that. Now that you said it was all black and white, I remember it all being in black and white. But it's cool, like that was intentional. Because even the press photos you'd send over to all black and white.
Yeah.
So that's neat. And I feel better. I mean, I still feel shitty we lost the podcast, but knowing that you guys shot a whole video and lost that too.
Yeah. No,
I'm sorry about this.
This is the
streak of bad luck.
This is
We
the
had a lot
children's
of
book
fun
story.
that day too, but it was like super hot.
Yeah.
I remember that, and you were like running. I was like, dude, I'm so sorry.
And I wasn't even there for the first one. Like they were doing their whole thing of like running around and
And
like
he had to set
working
up
cameras.
the last shot.
Yeah, so I was setting up the last shot of this video and like just by myself in the middle of nowhere, like in a field, like moving equipment and stuff like that. And it started raining right before they got there. So this is the original cut was still already like, I was like, we basically like couldn't film the last part of it anyway. So we were trying to reschedule that in the meantime of getting files lost.
How did it all get lost?
the guy who shot the video, his computer broke and he didn't put it on a hard drive.
Oh,
so,
okay. So
yeah.
basically, what just happened with me, I still don't know what happened, but it was just like, do you want to save this? And I said yes, and then it closed, and then I opened it, it wasn't there.
Yeah, this is the. I hope. Yeah, it's okay.
At least
This is funny. That was when I heard that, I was like,
Yeah, a whole video. That's like a day worth of planning.
Yeah.
Yeah, that we
like,
paid for too.
Yeah,
so.
it was but my
Did
buddy.
you get money back?
No,
No.
my buddy reshot the video and he's gonna do our next video for free.
Oh,
so
okay.
he's like, dude, you guys are my like friends and like I'm so sorry this happened and like we got you. Like I'm flying back in. We're gonna reshoot this video and then next video is on me because
That's cool.
Yeah. So he actually really likes our music. It's good to have somebody like, because I've had friends that did videos with people that don't like their music and it comes out all wrong. This guy's like, I actually really love your band, like, so I'll fucking do whatever I need to
Awesome.
make it good. So
Yeah, you want someone that's on board with it.
yeah.
Which is the cool thing about like having producers too that like believe in the sound, but also are outsiders and like can help make it objectively better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so we were talking about how when you guys did record, you did have two producers, which I think is cool because I don't know if I think the most I ever had was like an engineer who would like throw in like a tidbit every now and then, like, oh, why don't you try and play that riff a little differently? But for your guys' sound, which is like, it's 3-piece pop punk, right?
Yeah. This
For
one, yeah.
lack of better words,
Mhm.
yeah. But it still sounded like a complete song and like well put together. So I mean, I don't want to touch on all the same stuff again, but
Well, I can talk about a different aspect of like how we chose producers and stuff like that.
sure, yeah.
Like we try really hard to pick producers that we know are going to get like what we want in terms of both our tone and like sound and that type of thing.
And specifically for the song that we're
Yeah,
recording.
for the exact song. So like we had worked with Joe before, and that's what we did. One of our producers for the first song that we did.
Yeah.
But we always would be like, so what is this producer kind of missing, and then pick someone who kind of is a little bit different, but can cover like a base of like, oh, this person knows how to like get the highs right on the guitar tones, and this person kind of like makes the rest of the track like filled out type of thing. So like we're very like, and we also make sure that the chemistry between them, so like make sure the producers probably know each other beforehand or
Right on.
like that type of thing, because I think that's important, like having good chemistry and being able to like bounce ideas off of people.
Yeah, totally. That's awesome. Yeah, you don't want like one guy that's like metal and one guy that's like, a pop person. So it's cool that you guys plan that much into everything, though. You know?
Probably ripped that strategy off of Underoath, to be honest. Like they were like a big seminal influential band, and all their like big records they had the dude from Killswitch, and then they had this guy that did all the Copeland records.
Oh, no way. That's really cool. I
Yeah.
didn't know that. Yeah, Adam from Killswitch, I'm guessing, who produced like a
Yeah.
ton of like August Burns Red and like a lot of like really cool metal records. So yeah, those Underoath albums are good. I haven't heard the new one, but
What do you think about it? Kyle's got the best opinion on it. I'm mixed
It
about it.
grew on me.
Really?
But, yeah, but I think they kind of screwed up by not putting the B-sides on the record because they're so good.
really?
Yeah, I like the singles. Like, well, not really Rapture.
No.
I mean, I think it's great, like a great radio song.
Yeah, it's a great written song. It's just like,
Yeah, it's just
Not the
think,
Underoath that you would
like,
expect.
Yeah, like I think they wrote with who? John Feldman, right?
Yeah, they went
Okay.
like full pop producing
Yeah.
with John
Yeah,
Feldman.
who
They
did
know
the-
Ken Andrews from Failure.
The new
and all that,
Blink
yeah.
record.
Yeah, yeah.
But like they know how to write their own songs. It's like I don't,
And they have their
no
own
one can,
thing with
yeah,
that too.
no one can do it better than them.
Yeah, yeah. You don't want to lose like.
Don't fix it if it's not broken.
Yeah,
you know?
I agree. You don't want to lose like the sound of the band. What label like put that out? Do you guys know?
Fearless. They like went totally because Tooth and Nail was their label, and Tooth and Nail was like they still can get a good pull, but I think they wanted to drop like the Christian aspect of it, so
Sure.
they just went Fearless because Fearless has that like pull and that like kind of more pop metal
Can help
market.
push them into mainstream too. Like
Yeah.
them are like Fueled by Ramen would be like.
Yeah, they're trying to get radio play on this. Like they legitimately have songs. Like some of the songs sound like Linkin Park, which for better or for worse, like cool, I'm cool with Linkin Park, but it's like not really my thing for this band.
But let
For
them
Underoath,
be
yeah.
Linkin
Yeah,
Park,
but, like,
you know.
I could see this song being played on local Philly stations, some of the stuff on the record. So
yeah.
it's like good for them, you know. I think they're trying to like I mean they're already huge in my mind, but like they're trying to reach that like play on like huge festivals like Paramore and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because they announced the comeback and then relatively soon, like they put the album out, right? Didn't it all happen within a few months?
Yeah, that's because that's like Underoath. They can just like have such a built-in, like I was saying, like I copped like their ideas for trying to get our marketing strategy. They just like show up okay, here's a song, and then they just kind of keep everything tightly under wrap, and they'll just post an album picture, and they're just so good at that.
Yeah.
They have the fan base for it too, but like
Sure.
yeah,
That
but
helps.
but like they can just put out a song and it becomes a huge hit. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
And I think another thing is like at this point in our music career, we're kind of like we want to actually do something with it. We don't want to just mess around kind of and like hope things happen. Like we want to be a little bit more proactive in that type of thing at this point.
Yeah.
We sucked at that like probably 2 years ago. We had no idea what the heck we were doing, and then like once we got Kyle, we're like, okay, we know what it sounds like. We know the sound is gonna be good. We know we can play live. Next step is to actually have a plan. Like where do we want to be? You know.
Sure. Take it a little more seriously and like think about each move you make.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. You can be more like efficient with everything you do, you know? That's like the hardest part is making the most of all your time. Because like we were saying, like I was saying before, the older you get, the harder it gets to do everything.
Yeah.
Totally. You have to like force it. I mean, I'm 27. I'm not like that much older than you guys. But like, you know, like holding down a job and then like just getting old and shit. Like it's a fight, you know? I mean, but you do it because you have to, right? Like that's why.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's just like, I mean, I'm like I said, like you're not that much older than we are, but we're at that age too where it's like, I know that I could go and get a full-time music teaching job if I really wanted to.
Were you music ed major?
Yes, I'm music
Nice, me
ed.
too, yeah.
Yeah, so, and you know how that's a difficult, I don't know, do you teach full-time? I didn't even ask.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you teach? What's your...
3rd, 4th, and 5th grade instrumental music.
Oh, awesome.
So, band
So,
and orchestra
That's
teacher.
the best gig.
Band
man.
and
It's fun.
orchestra, dude.
Yeah, it's fun.
Band and orchestra. That's
Yeah.
fucking awesome. So
It's
they
a lot,
combine
but
it?
no, separate lessons, and like when we have our concert, my band plays 3 songs, my orchestra plays 3 songs. I try to combine it at the end of the year every year, and it's hit or miss.
Do you like sorry, I'm gonna nerd out a little bit.
No,
But so do you teach at 2 different schools? Like you have the orchestra here, or do you have like
All in one school.
oh, it's all in one school? That's awesome. So
Yeah.
you don't have to travel, because a lot of my friends who do the band gigs, and especially elementary school, they have to be at this location on this day and this day, and then move to the
That's how my student teaching was. No, but I'm lucky. I'm in one place. I have one classroom. The kids come to me. There's enough kids in the school where I have a full program. My week is full. So
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
yeah.
That's good. Like for me, it was like I had a couple job offers immediately out of college, but like they're in districts that I knew like if I did this, I wasn't going to be able to pursue this children's
Sure.
books
Yeah.
aspect. So I was like, no, I'm going to turn that down. So I did building subbing. I was 22-year-old building subbing 18-year-old kids in high school. I was a disaster.
I did that too.
Yeah,
You kind
it's-
of have to cut your teeth though for
Mhm.
teaching and like just do that.
And
Put on a
then-
resume.
Yeah, and then this year I'm got like an opportunity where I teach general music to the 8th graders in my local district. So I get like a couple classes a day of that. I'll sub out, and then I do a lot more private lessons.
Cool.
But I've like still have to do lesson plans, but still have enough time where I'm like, all right, now I'm subbing these classes for like honors algebra or whatever. So now I can just sit there and book shows and really use my time wisely. Where last year when I was building subbing, I just sat there. It's like, well, what am I doing? You know, so it's like total. So I have this like crossroads where I'm like, do I go to a teaching job full time where I make double what I make now and probably struggle harder to do this, or do I take it and bite the bullet and kind of step back? So it's
hard.
Yeah, it's August is coming around. August is a scary month for me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's like I mean, you could always get the teaching jobs will always be there. So I'd
Yeah.
say do this as hard as you can for as long as you can. And I still do all the music shit hard. But you know, before this job I was a delivery driver, I would literally sit on my phone booking shows like and
Yeah.
just deliver around. So it was easier to do stuff then. Now I have to like make time and like delegate time and shit. I'm booking like a 3-week tour for this summer, which I've never booked anything like over like I think the longest tour I ever booked was like 17 days, and this is going to be like 19, so it's not that different.
Still a lot though.
Yeah, I'm making a point every day in the shower to like take my phone and try to like shoot one email out, and then like every day just send out one message to follow up, or like because that's like so many days, and it's cities. I never really booked West Coast before, so it's like all this new shit. But yeah, you have to just make time to do it, like
Yeah.
figure out how to make stuff work out.
You got the what I would love to do though. I like elementary band or middle school band. You still, like you said, you still have time to do this. If you're a high school band director, I'd be like, if you were still doing music as a high school band director and this, I'd be like, yo, dude, like kudos to you. That's not hard. But like,
Yeah, it's almost
elementary
like a disservice to your students though, because I mean that's such a demanding. Like elementary school, I'm out at 3:34,
And it's
I have
not-
the summers off.
And
Like,
you don't have to like analyze the music you're doing. It's like, okay, I just have to make sure I'm cueing blah 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 blah, and making sure they know how to play their instruments. Whereas,
Yeah.
like high school, it's like, no, I had to teach them all this tone and texture and all this stuff. Like, at least for when I was doing elementary stuff, it was like, no, we just want to make sure we get the concepts, make sure you're holding your instrument
Exactly.
correctly, and you're not hitting somebody with the bow. Like, come on. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
Totally. Teach me how to
Yeah.
hold everything. I thought I wanted to teach high school until I saw a good high school band teacher, and I was like, I can never do this.
No,
It's like a
it's-
full time. I like being able to do all my band shit and the label shit like outside of school, the podcasts when they record, all that stuff.
Knock on wood.
My
Yeah.
high school chorus teacher, he was the full time guy there, and he would do jazz band and like select chorus and some other thing. I forget what it was, but he would do all that, and then he would play a gig at night. Sometimes he would go to like West Virginia and play, and like he'd tell me like, oh, I just got home at like 2 a.m. and just came here. He's like, I'm so fucking tired.
Yeah.
I bet, dude, but like he loved doing it. So I
Yeah.
guess if you got to do what you got to do.
Totally.
You know.
I've definitely eaten shit and like played a show, got home at 2:30 or 3, and went into work and just like had a Red Bull and like
Yeah,
got through the
it's-
day. But you don't want to feel like you're. Well, it's different because like if I had a job that I didn't care about, like I would like I'll go into work half asleep and just have acid. But it's like I'm teaching kids, and I feel like
if it's your passion, man, you got you
Yeah,
want to be 100%.
it'd be scummy of me to be like, oh, I played a show to 10 kids last night, so your instrument lessons are canceled. Yeah. Yeah. We'll go on.
It's
sorry.
like the brightest part of their day too. To be honest.
They're stoked usually to play. So, yeah. So what do you guys see for the future of the band? Like you're kind of pacing out releases. I'm assuming you're gonna keep writing and releasing music, right?
So we think like in the serious answer is what we're gonna do is put this out and do a release show in June or July for it, and then probably I'm looking at John for you podcast listeners. Probably in May, we're gonna start planning out even more strategically. Or we have a single that we really like that we haven't put out yet that we need to have like a color scheme down. Everybody that does video, all the art done. We need to figure out who's gonna produce it and make sure we want to build like a team of like 10 people that are just gonna put this like you're almost selling a product, which you are.
Sure.
So.
Yeah.
And then the funny answer is we always talk about, the Nirvana with the Lights Out box set. Yeah. The silver. We always talk about what demos and stuff we're going to put on that in 15 years if we ever get to that point of like super famous. I don't ever expect it, but it's just like a funny conversation. We're like, yeah, that one demo of Kyle like farting into a mic, like that'll make it. Somebody will like, oh, no, that's like the fart version 2. I
Deep
get
cuts.
It. Yeah, deep cuts. Yeah, so that's
Deep butts. I mean, deep butts.
I think that it's a cool idea to like have a team just for the sake of cohesiveness. Like when you have an album and the artwork and the themes are all like cohesive, it really makes an impact, and that's what they view it as a piece of art that someone's taking in. Like you want it to have the biggest impact on someone. So
And definitely that's something we've been thinking about doing is like making it like the music is a very important part of it and that's the main part of it, but at the same time have things around it that like people also enjoy. So like merch and like just the artwork you're saying and everything else just kind of being things people can enjoy other than the music.
totally. Yeah, because then it has more staying power because it stays in their head more. Like if they have a poster or like, something that ties in with the theme. So it's like a broad stroke idea, but it's like there's a lot of fine details that go into that stuff.
Yeah, and it's like interesting because a lot of bands too, like we've all sat in on situations like my band in high school, and like we all had different writing situations growing up, and like bands even like later into college, and then like I feel like a lot of bands struggle with like the writing, the music, who has control of this, and because I was like you sit in friends' practice sessions and you're just going there and you're like, ooh, okay, you all fight a lot. Like, this is awful. Like, I don't know how you guys play shows and be happy.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, I was in bands that used to do that too. But now, like, with these guys, I feel like we've got that on lock. We're pretty much like, we know what we want musically. We're all on the same page with that. We go in, we're all super critical. So now, like John was saying, like, now we got to figure out that whole other aspect. Like, we're confident in our music, not saying, oh, it's the best music ever, but we love what we do and it's confident.
That's
and
important.
And people are starting to see that. Now it's like, okay, but this whole other, like, marketing and art and all the shit, that's where we started really diving into that actually this year. And I think John's like the head of that shit, because I'm like, I'll be like, John, this is what I want, but I don't know how the fuck to do it. I'm not a visual person at all. So he's like, I got it, and we figured it out. So
So do you do like art, like any photo? Do you do like all the artwork, Photoshop stuff, or?
I don't do too much of like the actual nitty gritty stuff. I'm more of like the creative director.
Sure.
Almost
So you'll talk
like,
to people like
yes.
what you
So like
want.
we'll get a photo shot done, and we'll be like, Ramon and I will both kind of have ideas about like, well, we want a black and white type of thing, and then we'll kind of like workshop a little bit of like what we want, and then I'll kind of pick out like which photos I like. So like we had like the last photo shot. We took the album artwork from one of those photos, and so I picked out like which one we wanted and like did the cropping, like basic stuff like that. And like I don't do like a lot of like the actual photography, and now we like hire out for show posters and stuff too, but
Yeah.
just kind of like as
It's hard, right? It adds up. Money
yeah.
money adds up real quick.
money and time. Like I don't have, and like I actually did do the video, like I was saying, I did do the video edits for all the promo videos, so I did the video on that and the audio mixing on that.
Yeah.
And I had like barely enough time for that, but like to be able to do that plus photography, like at that time, because I have a 9 to 5, so
Yeah.
and like plus that goes a little over 9 to 5 sometimes, so
A lot of times.
yeah. So between
being
that and
honest.
like that I work a lot for my day job, and then plus the band practices, and like it's enough already doing like just like okay, here's the plan. I like this. I don't like this. And I think that's an important thing that people don't always do. Of like, they'll hire out somebody and they'll trust their judgment always. And I think we do trust them to some extent, but then also kind of refine that a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard. I feel like the busier you get, the less stuff is in your, like, when you think about bands on bigger labels, like they probably have teams of like 15 people, right? Like,
Probably.
Yeah.
Least.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
yeah.
If you think about it.
Too many cooks in the kitchen, in my opinion. But like, you kind of need it at that point because you need people promoting
Yeah.
your band and booking the tours.
I'm sure it's just as stressful, if not more, like than working like a full-time job. It's like, all right, well, you're gonna do this interview. You have this photo shoot. It's like, oh man, I'm
And
sure
you
it
have to
adds
decide
up.
the artwork by this date because the label
Yeah,
says.
I'm
Yeah.
sure it's very difficult.
And it's like art too, so you could make a shitty record. And
Yeah,
that's it.
Sometimes you gotta stop being so hard on Underoath, man. It's not their fault.
I know. They're like, I grew up with that, so it's like it's a sentimental part of me I had to cut off. So
Yeah. Give him a chance, I guess. Now that we talked about it, I'm probably gonna listen to it this week and form an opinion on it. 'Cause
Yeah.
I just didn't at all. I was like, oh, cool, they're back. But
Yeah, it's not bad.
at first, they still can write first tracks on an album. Like you
Hell
listen to
yeah.
that first track and you're just like, yeah,
we're back.
we're fucking back.
Boys are back.
Yeah. But yeah, I like you said, like having a team though, we do want that, and we have issues, like not like issues, but we're just like somebody was like, oh, I suggest this. It's like, okay, I get that, but this is our project. Like it'd be vice versa. If I'm playing, I go play drums for your band. I play in a bunch of different bands too. Like I serve your music. This may not be the songwriting choice that I like,
Sure.
but I will play it. Vice versa. It's like somebody would bring in, oh, I want to do this. I'm like, okay, I like this idea, and I like your idea, and I'm actually gonna take it into consideration because we're all super open to that because we all know like maybe our like 3 ideas isn't the best. We should take other ideas too.
Yeah.
But like sometimes it's like, hey, no, we still want to stick to that, and they're like, oh, okay, like thank you for actually taking my opinion, respecting it. So we're trying to build out not like our own label, but like our own team of people, so that like that way it's just like John said, it's like hard. You know how hard it is. It's hard to like get all that shit done and get it all together. So like having people that I trust that like at the end of the day you're gonna do the product that we need and vice versa, and I'm gonna promote the hell out of you, and I'm obviously gonna pay you for your fucking services.
Yeah.
And help you out with that. So
It's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool that you guys are like open ideas and like can have conversations about it too.
yeah.
Because when it's a band and it's like the whole text thread is just arguing and like or like back and forth, and then someone brings up an argument from yesterday and like reopens that. It's the worst.
I think that ruins the music a lot of times when you have someone with too much of an ego and you're like, well, clearly this could have been a better record if someone
Yeah.
had just been like, this thing just like kind of ruins the song. It was like a key change out of nowhere or something like that. You're just like, someone should have told this guy like way sooner. Like this could have been like a perfect song if you had just listened to like one obvious
Suggestion.
opinion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to play in a progressive band, and like I would write like pretty much every song, and like the guitar, the bass, and like sometimes the drum ideas, like all the vocals, and I was like, I feel like an asshole. This is not cool at all. I'm like, can you guys write something?
It's a lot of work.
I loved it. Like,
in high school, like I was in a totally different situation because I played drums and I like said my opinion. We got in fights, but like I was a dumbass drummer too, so it's like whatever. These two actually were like the heads of their bands in high school, and
I loved it. It was a lot of fun. I just felt like,
and if it did feel good a little bit, like I felt like, oh wow, I did all this, but it's just the amount of effort that goes into it, and then sometimes you have to convince somebody like, oh, this is the right part, and I know this is the right part because I wrote all the other parts.
Yeah.
And it's like, I wish you just wrote better parts or had better. Now I sound like a complete dick, but like, you know what I mean? It, like,
You don't have to be true to what like your
like,
vision. Yeah,
when
like
you
if
write
you're
a
writing
song,
songs.
it's like, or just like a riff even, or a lyric, like you kind of have a general idea of like, oh, I want the song to go here. It's like, and someone else is saying like, oh, well, I think it should sound like, you know, like 3 Days Grace or something. And no, man, this is like a Fall Troy song, or no, this is a Foo Fighters song. You know, like, but it could be stressful. But I think that's part of the process. Like, you know, you're getting at something if you're like struggling. You know, I like struggling.
And I think doing that in high school probably helped this band too, because now you can step back and everyone kind of like steps in and like collaborates a little bit.
You know, I mean, it's not my band, so I'm a part of it. You know, so I can't go like, oh well, fuck you guys. You know, like.
I mean, you can. That's fine.
Yeah.
So Kyle, how long have you been playing with Children's Books?
It's almost 2 years now. Or is it 2 years?
Year and a half since
It'll
July
be 2 years in
2017.
November.
Cool.
Yeah, actually, the single we want to do after this is the first song we wrote together, right?
Yeah.
Like, actually.
Without having like a demo or something else that we had already been working on beforehand.
Right on.
Yeah,
most of our live songs, we only have half of our set are songs that we only have like 6 songs for the set, but half of it are stuff that me and John had an idea before. The other 3 are like we all wrote together, which honestly we love that process too. It's like great. Yeah.
Nice. Hell yeah. So more shows in Philly on the horizon. You guys played at Fenarios too in Westchester?
Oh, dude, that used to be like the only place we could play.
I played there once. Is that place still open?
Yeah, it's still open. It's called
yeah.
Fens now. They rebranded
Well,
it.
What band did you?
I think Invalids played there like kind of like a year or two ago.
That's why I know
you
your
look
band
really
name.
familiar.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, were you guys there? Or like
Probably.
Oh,
right on.
Yeah, we go a lot.
Yeah, we go up there a lot.
Yeah,
So
we got to play there again.
the guitarist in Invalids grew up around there, and his old band would play shows there. And then we got a show there. And I'm like, oh, I've heard about this place for a long time. So it's probably like 2 years ago. But yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, it's
It's about the time we were playing there.
Yeah, what's cool is like it went through like this weird thing. My buddy Kenny, I call him like the scene guru of that. I play music with him too. He had his actual house out in Westchester, and he'd throw shows there. I went to a couple. I was like very late because I started college in 2012, so that was like right when he was graduating. So I went to a couple shows out there, like cool Halloween things, and they started moving things over to Fens at the same time. And then, long story short, kids kind of just stopped showing up, like maybe 2 or 3 years
Is it
ago.
a college town?
Yeah, it's a college town. It's all Westchester.
Okay,
So,
okay,
so
yeah.
the Westchester campus is right there. So, but you just have a lot of kids that also grew up in that area. So I have a couple of friends, like one of my friends, she's doing a write-up for our magazine, and she's off to college now, but she and her used to bring a bunch of friends from high school, and that's like the cool spot for the kids, and that was like their expression way to get music out there because they didn't go to Philly for shows at that age.
And that's about an hour and a half from Philly.
It's like it's a good 35, 40 minutes, but like
Depending where in Philly.
but you're like 16 or 17 years old,
Yeah.
and you want to go see a punk show, and like your mom and dad's not gonna be like,
out there.
hey, what are you doing at Temple? Like at 16, like
Yeah.
probably shouldn't be out there. So it's like, okay, well here's like a spot where
Safe all ages space, you know.
exactly, yeah.
Cool.
And so they bring out a lot of kids actually. So that's been popping again. So
Oh, good.
yeah.
Nice. It's cool when you have house shows and a venue too, so they can like feed off each other.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think we're getting too old for house shows, though. like going to them. I don't really go to them as often. I'm like, oh, this little kid wants me to buy him beer. Like, that's not cool. I'm not gonna do that.
yeah, I feel weird. It's weird. Like I was at a house show recently, and it was all like 18, 19-year-olds, and I was like, man, I feel old. And then I was talking to, ironically, a kid that goes to high school in the town I teach in, and I know them through like marching band. And they're like, yeah, I was at a show last week, and I felt young because it was all like people your age. And it's like, all right, good. At least there's a balance.
Yeah.
Depends on the type of show I guess you're at too, but
That legendary Philly basement scene has changed so much in 6 years. Like when we started, because I used to travel all the time down there, and me and John used to go all the time, like 2012, 2013, and that was like the last of like, not I'm saying the golden era of basement shows, but last of those kids that were still living at that area, went to school, going to Drexel and all that stuff. And you still had the like Hostage Con we used to play there and all this like crazy huge stuff, the Michael Jordan house and stuff like that. And then you had a shift where like all those people just moved from Philly and moved on, and like, I'm not throwing shows in my house, I'm growing up, like, so you kind of had like an overglut of too many like bands that wanted to sound like Midwestern emo and
A lot of twinkly shit.
yeah, and it's not a bad thing.
To me it is, but you're right, it's not. I got very sick of it quick.
No, and we all did. It was the problem is it just a big glut in that market became huge, and all these kids loved it. But it was like a lot of the younger kids got onto it, and the older people were like, yeah, but you're missing the point of what the Captain Jazz and all that stuff. You miss what it is.
Or just having like a bunch of different types of bands on one bill too.
Exactly. You used to go and they'd be like, Philly used to be a spot where you could have a metal and a hip hop act, and actually everybody's there to be there. It's hard to do that now.
Yeah.
And Kyle's band was like a twinkly band too, but they were not. But
Yeah,
they
like,
had like a good
I remember listening to your old band and being like, I like this, like more so than other stuff I was hearing. So
well, when I joined, they were like, yeah, we don't really want to do the twinkly stuff anymore. You know, we kind of want to like do rockier stuff, a little more emo, but like we were a guitar band. Like we all played guitar, and so it was kind of hard not to have all the riffs in there.
Yeah.
But you know, we tried to keep it like pretty original.
I mean, keep it fresh. You know, you don't want to be like, well, Algernon Cadwallader's huge, so I'm gonna make a band that tries to sound like them. You know,
that's what we said. Actually, that was the goal.
Oh shit. Well, cool, guys. I'm glad we were able to salvage some of this.
Well, thank you very much, Joe. Appreciate it.
Yeah, check out Children's Books. So when this will go up on Wednesday, so your single will be out in like 2 weeks, probably.
May 11th.
May 11th. Okay, right on. Follow Children's Books on all the social media stuff. Thanks for listening.